Nobody's gonna tell me what I can and can't do. Oh,
Hello, girl gang. Happy Friday.
Are you actually gonna wear that?
The moon landing didn't happen.
Mods? Sorry, but like, ew.
Did she spray Pam on the food?
That ass, though.
You're lol cows. That's what you guys do.
Hey folks, what's good? I'm Professor Dietz, and you're watching GorlWorld 101.
Picture it.
You're relatively new to GorlWorld. You know, maybe you've seen a Mr. Snowflake documentary or a deep dive on another channel, and now you're ready for a live stream. So you hop on with Zachary Michael or FFG or Charlie Gold, and you really don't understand what's going on. You know, you can barely understand the present tense, let alone over 10 years of history with these girls. I mean, you barely understand what they're referencing in the chat. People are saying things like Cuba rage and dangling ankle. Did I say that right? Dangling. Jordy just keeps repeating, I have. And that time she broke the scale. Well, I guess that could apply to a lot of different times to multiple girls. Depends on the context. Anyway, you want to understand, but you have to scour YouTube. And even then, it's just not all coming together for you. That's exactly what this series is for. Instead of having to scour all of YouTube, I'm going to do that part for you. I'll be using clips from reaction and compilation and documentary channels. And yes, as always, I will provide links in the description below for every video I use. Today we're covering what I kept seeing being referenced as that time Chantal tried to break into Dom's, and I had no idea what they were talking about. So I started digging, and I wasn't really easily able to find out exactly what this was. So I fell into a bit of a research rabbit hole on this one, but we got there in the end. Before we dig into this particular event, I do want to give you a pretty significant trigger warning. We're going to be covering topics like SA, DV, and substance abuse today. So if you're not really in the right headspace to listen to those, I suggest clicking off this video, and I will see you in the next one. All right, let's go. This event goes back in time to 2021, and it was just about 3 weeks after Chantal met Nader. Now, again, I am not going to go into the full story arc of their relationship. It's a lot, and it's honestly quite terrible, but that's not what we're here for today. So I'm just going to offer a little bit of context on what was going on at the time, and we'll go from there. As we know, or maybe you don't, but this was a really tough time in Chantal's history. In 2021, she was depressed. She was really lonely. She had incredibly low self-esteem. She was desperate to find someone that would claim her as a partner. She was desperate for attention in general. So she was seeking validation and prioritizing that over her own safety, to be perfectly honest. She was making really poor decisions, both mentally and physically.
Then we have Nader, and Nader, for lack of a better term, is a literal piece of human excrement.
In a span of 2 weeks, Chantal had graduated from a giggly teen girl gushing about making out with a boy to a bad girl who got sexually dominated by a drug-fueled Egyptian man.
And she was seeking out this man that was not just a criminal on actual probation for having stabbed a woman.
I said, you're trying to kill me. Please. Please.
Also an addict. Plus, he was obviously just using Chantal for her money, and I mean, she was blowing through her savings. At this point in time, she had just kind of dropped the Egyptian guy moniker and started calling him Dom to her audience. She still had not yet revealed who he actually was. Remember, this was just 3 weeks after they met, and she had already become super obsessed. Although she hadn't yet admitted it to her audience, she was participating in a lot of different drugs with Nader, including
Math.
And unfortunately, more often than not, she was actually showing up on her live streams
with like very dilated pupils, but she would deny that she was under the influence.
Later, she actually did admit to her audience that she had almost overdosed,
saying that she was pretty sure she was addicted to cola. This was also when the wacky tobacco gummies came into play. It seems like she kind of switched from one to the other, and a lot of the clips and from live streams in this era are just her absolutely blasted off into the moon.
Chantal and Nader had been spending every single day together for at least 2 weeks, if not 3, and Chantal was just growing more and more obsessed by the day. She had been spiraling out of control for a while by the time we actually got to the night of the attempted B&E. And she was offending her audience with every single video. She was showing up angry to her live streams, obviously not sober. She was defending her own actions to an audience that was growing more and more concerned with her completely reckless behavior. So at this point, things were just primed for something bad to happen, and everyone was watching and waiting to see what that would be. All right, so on this particular day, once again, they had plans to spend the evening together. But around 4 p.m., Nader lets Chantal know that actually he had some unexpected plans come up and that he wasn't going to be able to see her that night. And so begins Chantal's spiral. She starts texting him over and over again, trying to convince him to see her instead of doing whatever he was going to do that night. She was showing the side of her of just complete and utter desperation.
Holy crap. Okay. So Chantal has been calling and texting the guy all night, okay? At a certain point, she had said she had called and texted him over 30 times, and he is ignoring every single one of those calls, okay? He doesn't have to call you. It's over.
So at this point, she goes live, and she starts complaining to her audience about what was going on. She's crying to her audience, saying Nader is playing games. And honestly, she's just really overreacting and just being super childish with a side of emotional manipulation. She actually even tried to make Nader jealous by saying that she was just going to go over to her exes. You know, fine, you have plans, so do I. That kind of thing. It's not a good look. And the fact that her stash was actually at Nader's place was not helping her stay calm. So she's in this highly emotional state, right? You know, her audience sees it a mile away, and instead of calming her down, they actually start riling her up. They're not just frustrated, but they're completely fed up with her at this point. Seeing this incredibly dramatic overreaction to a very normal circumstance of, I have plans tonight, they start egging her on with all these questions that definitely don't help the situation. What's he doing? No, what's he really doing though? Do you think he's cheating on you? One user, Amy Flowers. So Amy Flowers is actually infamous for a different piece of lore in Foodie Beauty's history. So that hasn't happened yet in this timeline, but remember her name because that'll be in the future. For now, she just seems to be in the comments, a little bit of a hater, and certainly frustrated with Chantal. So what Amy Flowers says to her is something along the lines of, you know, why don't you go over to Nader's house and just see if he's there? See if he's actually at home with this mysterious other woman.
Go by his house and wait. No, that's so creepy. Ready, set, bees. Take us on a drive-by. Yeah, let's just dox his house.
It's not just Amy Flowers, mind you, but I did think it was interesting that she was one of these people doing it. Whether Chantal knows it or not, she has a lot of trolls in her comment section, and they are not helping with the mania. She was just getting more and more paranoid that Nader was in fact cheating on her and was at home with some other woman.
What does this one decide to do? She finds her second phone, right? She has a second phone, a second number. And she decides that she's going to start calling him on the second number to see if he's screening her calls. I swear to God, I did that when I was a teenager. Yeah. She really thinks she's done something here. Look at her. Look at the smug look on this one's face. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to trap him and catch him on my second phone. Look at how fucking smug she is.
He said he likes when women are jealous, so you like when women are jealous? I told him be careful what you wish for.
As I said, it was very childish behavior. And he's still not answering his phone. At this point, it's past 11 p.m. She has been at this for hours. Because she had left her edibles at his place, thinking that she'd end up going back there that evening, she basically was like, well, I'm never going to be able to sleep tonight. It's just not going to happen. So under that pretense, she says, all right, you know what? I know of this store I can go to get myself some pre-rolls. They're open till midnight. I'm going to go there. I'll come back home after that and then bees a little bit longer and be able to sleep finally. So she puts on her cheetah print sweatshirt and heads out into the night. The next thing we know, she's back on her live stream and she's sitting in her car. As she actually said that, the GPS had taken her to this really strange place and, the shop was closed by the time she got there.
This is not where it is,
Sure, Chantal, sure. The next thing she says is that, well, actually, she went by Nader's place. Obviously.
I went by his house.
Yes, the GPS took you mysteriously to the house of Mattress Paradise.
Have you lost your goddamn mind?
Of course you did. Of course you did.
Crept up to the windows, looked in, and even tried the door to see if it was unlocked to get her stuff.
I wanted to see if he was home, if I could get my stuff. So I get there. No, I don't think anyone was home. I don't know. He has his room, which was dark, but I mean, if you're in the room with somebody, it's gonna be dark. I didn't hear any noise. His kitchen light was on, the door was locked, but his kitchen window, I could see inside, and I could see his kitchen table.
But there was stuff all over the table, and that's where my edibles were.
But she's not a stalker, you guys. That's how she knew his door was locked, and everything in the kitchen is exactly where she left it.
Still everything on it from the last time I was there. So, I didn't really notice my edibles though. I couldn't really see that well. I tried the door. I'm like, please be open so I can break in and get my shit. I know that's illegal, but...
This woman was live streaming the events of that night in full detail.
I know that's illegal, but...
So, no, technically she didn't actually break and enter Nader's home. She almost did, though. She had done everything but break into this man's home. That we know of course. Apparently, she did stop herself right before taking that last step. She decided, bad idea, shouldn't do this. I'm just gonna get back in my car, calm down, and hop on another live stream.
If you don't call me, I'm never I didn't say this, but I'm gonna text. I'm never gonna talk to you if you don't call me. I'm worried. How am I supposed to sleep? What if something happened? He was supposed to call me back, and he never did. I don't feel like I deserve that after everything I've been through with this person in the past 3 weeks. I don't feel like I deserve that,
Whoa. Do you guys see how fucking sick that is? I don't think I deserve that. After everything I've been through with this person over the past 3 weeks. What the fuck could you have possibly been through with him? A paper cut?
Right?
I just feel so...
I've never been so disrespected in my life. I have known this man for 3 solid weeks. 3. I know I didn't say 3 years. I said 3 weeks, but still. 3 solid weeks.
If you want a day away, then fucking hang out with your friends, but at least tell me what you're doing and call me when you say you're gonna call me and let me know.
Frenchie from the present.
I'm living for this. The outfit, she's being completely crazy. How can you not be thinking about me, even though they broke up and stuff? How could you not be thinking about me? They've known each other for 3 weeks.
After that, she went back home, laid in bed, and got on yet another live stream from there.
It must have been love.
Oh
no. I've seen him every single day, pretty much, since I met him. He's not messaging me back or calling me. I'm like, you can't even respect me enough to think of me. Like, you're not thinking of me if you're not thinking of me to call me back. Like, what could be the reason you can't even answer your phone? If you can't.
Oh no.
Even.
How long is this gonna go on?
Look at this 40-year-old woman. And for anyone wondering, this is because this man did not respond to her within a few hours. Look at this grown-ass woman. I don't know how we got here, but I'm happy it's not me. Oh my God.
Chantal live streamed basically the entire night. Everyone saw what happened as it happened. And I don't want to downplay this. Chantal may not have actually broken into Nader's house, but what she did was very problematic. She not only harassed him for hours, but she discussed it in a public forum. And I actually think that what she did could be potential grounds for a restraining order. That's how bad it was. You know, at this point, as I said, a lot of people were really disgusted with Chantal, and this wasn't helping. Her viewers saw right through her lies. They knew that she wasn't going to some shop to get some pre-rolls, and they knew that what she was looking for on his kitchen table was probably not any edibles. It was most likely something a lot stronger than that. Did Chantal learn from this? No, of course not. She may have had some moments of clarity where she was reflecting on what she'd done and asking herself why she'd done such things.
Since I've been sitting here filming this reaction, Chantal has come live and is actually already done with a very short 30-minute stream. So we're going to do a 2-in-1 here, and let's get into the second video.
With just talking about too much. Like, why would I tell you guys that? Like, stuff that we did, or obviously, you know, like, I just feel like I messed up a lot lately, and I'm just like reflecting on it. Some things I can't believe I did, you know.
Chantal did prop up that live stream because she has no friends, to let her audience know that she did in fact attempt to break and enter into Dom's home. This grown-ass 40-year-old woman sat on live stream and said that.
But it didn't stop her from doing it again and again.
Chantal is one of the dumbest people to be on YouTube. It's ridiculous. You know, we might have to have a little, I'm locked up, they won't let me out. Not Miss Chantal, I know a criminal when I see one. Ma'am. This is the pause of a criminal wiping off their eyebrows. Look at this criminal. That's the pupils of a criminal. That's the half smile of a criminal. Look at that. That's the hand of a criminal.
She stayed with Nader. She would go on to, you know, continue using.
I smoked way too much today. Grey Goose and cranberry, by the way.
Look at this.
And eventually actually start paying Nader's rent. It ultimately caused her to go completely broke. And not only that, but Nader was treating her so poorly, continuing with his violence and mocking her and publicly humiliating her on his own live streams, because now he'd started his own channel on YouTube.
He also did a live stream showing her underwear to his audience, mocking how crusty and large it was.
I have your underwear here. You want me to show?
And throughout all of this, he didn't even say that she was his girlfriend. He actually flat out denied it.
Nobody truly knows our relationship except for us.
For months, she kept begging him to publicly acknowledge they were in a romantic relationship.
And you told me you love me. I showed the text messages for that. So you're fucking lying. Just admit it on your live stream right now that you fucking love me and tell everybody. Or, fine, I'll look crazy one last time.
Chantal was just completely losing herself to this toxic relationship. At one point, she even allegedly offered him a large sum of money just to publicly claim her as his girlfriend.
At one stage, he revealed that Chantal had offered him $2,000 a month to be her boyfriend.
At least she didn't deny it. And throughout the entire relationship, she was losing her friends, her family, and her audience because they were so frustrated with her.
Dax, maybe you shouldn't believe in somebody like me.
And you know, there is a lot more to this story. They were together for quite a while, and things just continued to get worse and worse as time went on. But today, I am just here to offer you insight into this one moment in time. And that brings me to today's reminder. Today's reminder: don't break into people's houses. And if for some reason you find yourself in that kind of situation, maybe don't wear a cheetah print sweatshirt. Just an idea. All of the videos that I mentioned today are going to be available in the description below. Go give those a watch if you want a few different perspectives on this particular night of crime. If you have a piece of lore you want me to dig into on this channel, leave a comment below for that as well. I currently have a pretty short list, and I'd love to have a longer one. Today's shout out is going to go to these fine folks right here. I love reading through all the comments you leave, and I really do appreciate the kind words, so thank you. And if you are still looking for more content to watch, I got you. You can check out one of these 2 videos right here. And otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Have you lost your goddamn mind?
Bye, guys.